Hello, dear friends. The Iran-Israel war is raging on its 7th day, with new developments unfolding daily. One of the most critical dynamics of this war is whether the United States will intervene. Trump's contradictory statements on the matter are noteworthy. On one hand, he signals intervention, while on the other, he sends mixed messages. However, Trump has embraced this war from the beginning, positioning it not as an Israeli-on war, but an American-on war. If America officially enters the war, this will fundamentally change its course. As America possesses limitless military power incomparable to Iran's, evangelists and Zionists in Washington are working intensely to draw America into the conflict. Another significant development in the war is that one of Iran's missiles struck a major hospital in Israel. Many people were injured, though no fatalities have been reported yet. While this incident distressed Israel is adept at leveraging such victories. Iran claims it did not intentionally target the hospital but aimed for a nearby military facility. However, the high deviation margin of long-range missiles increases the risk of hitting civilian targets. Israel is vowing revenge, and Defense Minister Katz directly targeted Iran's supreme leader, Khamenei, stating, "We will not allow him to live." Trump similarly wished Khamenei good luck, implying his demise. If Khamenei or other high-ranking Iranian cabinet members are targeted, the war will continue to escalate. Katz predicts Khamenei's end will be like Saddam Hussein's. Examining the air dimension of the war, it appears that Iran is losing the air battles. Although it has used hypersonic missiles, there has been a softening in Iranian attacks. Israel and America are shooting down Iranian missiles in the air, and few missiles reach their targets. Iran's unmanned aerial vehicles merely keep systems busy without causing significant damage. The Iranian Air Force was neutralized on the very first day of the war. Air defense systems collapsed, and aircraft could not be launched. Currently, Israeli warplanes and drones dominate Iranian airspace. Israel can hit between 50 and 100 targets in Iran daily, and this number is steadily increasing. If Iran cannot find a solution, it will be constantly struck from the air. The fact that Iranian airspace has fallen to Israel means that Iranian missiles can be hit on the ground before launch, potentially leaving Iran completely defenseless. Although Iran claims it will launch unprecedented missiles and drones at Israel, there is currently no concrete evidence. In the current situation, Iran's missile capacity appears to be diminishing, and the impact level of its attacks seems to have decreased. Israel's small size provides both advantages and disadvantages. Advantages? Israel has a relatively easy-to-defend geography, even smaller than Turkey's Konya province. It can be said to be one of the best protected countries in the world. In addition to multi-layered air defense systems like Iron Dome, Aram Ambrak 8, America's military base in Jordan, and warships in the Mediterranean also protect Israel. Most of the missiles and UAVs sent by Iran are shot down in the air by this base in Jordan. As a result, very few missiles reach Israel, and most of those that do miss their targets. Disadvantages: Israeli territory is so small that even a single missile strike can cause significant damage. Iran is trying to exploit this situation. Missiles landing in Israeli territory cause major destruction to infrastructure, turning some neighborhoods into ruins. However, casualties remain relatively low because Israel can detect missile launches in advance and usher people into shelters. Sufficient shelters are available throughout Israel. Although some claims suggest the death toll is higher than official figures, a general comparison shows significantly fewer casualties on the Israeli side than in Iran. Iran must do something new. Otherwise, its missile capacity will eventually decrease, and the damage it inflicts will be recoverable. It became clear that while Iran's most trusted hypersonic missile, the Fatah 1, caused significant destruction, it did not create a miracle. The next so-called doomsday weapon, the Khorramshahr missile, boasts a 1,800 kilograms warhead and can reach Mach 10 speed, making it unstoppable. However, the quantity and quality of these missiles, as well as their landing point, are critically important. If the Khorramshahr only strikes civilian neighborhoods, its impact will be limited due to low casualties. Israeli airports are still operational, meaning Israeli jets can take off and continuously strike Iran from the air. Israel appears to be winning the air war at this stage. It is extremely difficult to subdue a large country like Iran with airstrikes alone. Israel struggled to achieve this even in Gaza, forcing it to deploy ground troops. It is believed that Israel cannot completely eliminate Iran's nuclear or long-range missile capabilities through aerial bombardment, since these facilities are often underground. Destroying them with airstrikes is challenging. Ground invasion or regional ground operations may be necessary. Israel's hope is that the damage inflicted on Iran will weaken the Revolutionary Guards and the clerical regime, leading to an uprising by the opposition and a change in regime. However, in such wars, the opposite can also happen. The attacked populace, instead of opposing the regime, might unite against the foreign enemy, and support for the regime could increase. Indeed, a similar situation occurred in Israel, where Netanyahu's political career improved with Iran's missile launches. The aerial destruction of Iran and the incapacitation of its central authority would create a major power vacuum in the region. A massive void could emerge between Russia, Central Asia, Pakistan, India, the Arab world, and Turkey. The destabilization of Iran, a country twice the size of Turkey, with an ethnic religious structure intertwined with neighboring countries, could inflict immense damage on its surroundings and create a vast area of instability. Israel and America may not be fully aware of this, but regional countries in Europe cannot afford to take this risk. Iran's collapse could most significantly affect Pakistan. A black hole forming in Iran could draw Pakistan in, especially given the Baluchistan factor. Pakistan's existing social, political, and economic problems weaken the country against Iran-sourced shockwaves. It is also believed that there could be attempts in cooperation with Israel, America, and India to neutralize Pakistan's nuclear weapons or to divide Pakistan. Another major problem that would emerge from Iran's collapse is migration. Between 10 and 30 million people could migrate out of Iran, while Turkey, Pakistan, Iraq, and Afghanistan would be the initial destinations for this migration. Turkey and Iraq might bear the brunt. The ultimate destination for those arriving in Turkey would be European countries. If a few million, perhaps even 10 million, Iranians manage to reach European countries, this situation could severely destabilize Europe. Europe is already grappling with integration problems and racist violence stemming from excessive migration. Far-right and neo-Nazi movements aim to dismantle the European Union. If millions of people from Iran set off for Germany, France, and England, stopping them would be extremely difficult, and the already fragile balance of the European Union could completely collapse. If Tehran falls, the chaos and anarchy that would emerge in Iran would attract various terrorist organizations and extremists to the region. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, and the entire Middle East could turn into an area where extremists run rampant. Sectarianism could also be added to religious, political, and ethnic violence. Violence and terrorist acts could target not only the Middle East but also Western targets. Finally, the Israeli war is unfolding on and around the world's largest oil and gas fields. The war itself could lead to an explosion in energy prices. Israel has already begun targeting Iran's refineries and energy fields. If Iran's entire gas and oil flow is cut off, energy markets could skyrocket and put all economies under inflationary pressure. If Iran feels cornered and on the brink of being destroyed, it might feel compelled to spread the war to other territories. It could paralyze global oil and gas trade by mining the Strait of Hormuz at the exit of the Persian Gulf. While this would cause significant damage to Iran itself, it might not hesitate to take this risk in the face of an existential threat, since a large portion of trade from the Gulf goes to Asian states. This situation would particularly affect China, Japan, and India. Although America would be less affected in terms of oil and gas supply, the increase in global energy prices would hit everyone. In the worst-case scenario, Iran could set fire to the oil and gas fields of other countries in the Gulf, and the region could turn into a full-blown inferno. Israel and America have initiated an irreversible process. If Iran loses this war, everyone could lose. On the other hand, If Iran wins, it would create a very difficult situation, and they would not want to allow that. The war continues unabated. We are also following developments moment by moment and sharing our analyses with you. I hope these analyses have helped you understand the potential impacts of the war, not just on the front lines, but also on a regional and global scale. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next broadcast with good news. Take good care of yourselves. Goodbye.